Hello and welcome back to my channel. First of all, you might be thinking, where have you been? It's been months. It has. I think I've started almost every video this year by saying something like that because this year has just been absolutely wild. And not wild in a good way, although there have been good moments. I'm coming at you today with some not very fun life updates, which you may already be able to guess by my very boring background. I am back living in my parents' house, and I will get onto that in a little bit because I have had a lot of questions. I actually asked for questions on my Instagram because I thought we could do a Q&A, do a catch up. I want to get back to YouTube. Obviously this year I've not been very consistent with it and I haven't loved that. And I've actually tried to sit down and film this video about 3 times, but I've ended up crying. I was actually sobbing not very long ago, but I actually think my makeup has stayed on fine, so you know, we're all good. But I'm just going to get into a life update. I'm going to answer some questions. I will get into the juicy stuff that you want to know. I'm sorry that I've been gone for ages. I will be more consistent once my life is more consistent, to be honest. First question, how are you truly doing? I quite often start a Q&A off by answering this, to be honest, because I think it just gives quite a good basis. How am I doing? Really well, all things considered. I could be doing so horrifically right now if I hadn't built such a strong kind of basis for myself over the past couple years during recovery. I think I've really worked on my kind of mental stability and ability to get back up when things are hard. And I mean, this year has been really just so difficult. I've had grief, I've had huge life changes, I've had health scares with my family, I've been unwell myself. Like, it's been the sort of year that could have tipped me over the edge, but I am doing so remarkably well considering everything. I actually had a phone call with my GP the other day and it was just about my migraines that I've been getting, but he was like, oh, how's your mental health? And I was like, you know what? Not even bad. It's obviously not the best it could be, you know? It could be better. I have had a lot of factors in my life impacting it, and I just think considering everything that's going on, I am actually doing really well. Like, I haven't let my eating suffer. Obviously it's harder to eat when you're stressed and you don't have an appetite, but like, that hasn't been an eating disorder thing. Yeah, I've just been looking after myself the best I can, and I won't lie, I have been struggling because things have just been hard. Like I said earlier, I was literally crying trying to film this because I just feel like a failure and like I'm useless when I can't just sit down and film like I used to be able to. But there's a lot of factors that impact that, like the fact that I'm currently back in my childhood bedroom, not even the one that I used to film in. Me and my brother have actually swapped around because when I moved out he was like, hell yeah, I get the big bedroom again, and so I'm back in the little bedroom, but now I have all my stuff in here, so it's so overwhelming. There's literally nowhere to move. Like, the camera's here, behind it is like boxes and bags. It's very stressful, but yeah, generally I'm okay. The next thing that I'm gonna answer, which I've never had so many questions about the same thing. Why did you guys break up? Are you still together? Have you broken up with Brandon? Why are you living at home? Why did you break up? Are you still together? Are you single? Like, I have spoken about this on my Instagram stories, and it's probably obvious because I'm back home. But me and Brandon are broken up. I don't really want to go into detail about it on here because I don't think it's very respectful or fair, but everything's good, like everything's fine. It just was the best decision for the both of us. Yeah, I really had to put my mental health first and think about what was right for me, and unfortunately sometimes things just happen the way they happen. And yeah, obviously I don't want to go into detail, so I'm not going to be like, and this happened and that happened, but just know that everything's fine, I'm all good. And yeah, I think this is going to be a really big period of growth and change for me over the next year, especially because I've never really been alone in my recovery, or just by myself. I've never really like gotten used to my own company or any of that, so I think it's going to be a welcome change over the next year, and I think it's going to be really nice to see how I change and grow as a person doing life by myself. But yeah, just to clarify, we are broken up. I'm back with my parents, all good, but obviously it's quite a big life change because I literally posted earlier this year like, moving out, oh my god, and then shit happens. So yeah, I also have a really itchy nose because I was crying and it seems to have irritated my like nose crevice. Don't know why I felt the need to tell you that. Has the breakup affected your recovery? I got a couple questions like this, like how are you doing after breaking up? It's not changed anything, to be honest. Like, I have been very strong in my recovery, and obviously it was helpful to have a partner at times during my recovery, like that, you can't deny that, but I have always been doing recovery for me, and I will continue to do recovery for me, and at the end of the day it's always me making the decisions about my recovery and the way I go about it, and I've just continued to do that. I know that recovery is the most important thing. Even if I'm feeling down or sad or I don't have much of an appetite, I always know that I need to eat consistently. I need to not give in to any kind of eating disorder coping mechanisms, because at the end of the day it is a coping mechanism. it's what I used to cope for a very long time, and I don't want to fall back into that. So I just have to be really vigilant with myself and really aware, and if I feel like I am having a day where I don't really have an appetite, then I don't go based off my hunger at all. I go based off my old kind of meal plan. I don't follow a meal plan at all, but I use that as a kind of basis to be like, right, I'm not hungry today, but I still have to eat 3 meals and 3 snacks, if that makes sense. So yeah, it hasn't affected it at all, which is great, and I feel like it just shows how strong I am in my recovery, which, yeah, it's a good thing. How's your dad doing? I have been praying for you and your family. First of all, the messages about you guys like praying or just thinking of my family, or just like, you're all so lovely. Like I never take for granted how blessed I am to have this platform. So first of all, thank you so much. It's so sweet that you are even thinking about my family and like praying, you know, sending well wishes, all of it is also lovely. My dad is doing a lot better. I obviously haven't posted on YouTube in a while, so if you are only a YouTube subscriber, feel free to follow my Instagram. But also, yeah, we had a very, very difficult couple of months around the time that I ended up breaking up with Brandon as well. So that's why I wasn't on YouTube, because my life was kind of in the pits. My dad has always been super, super fit, super healthy, like the last person you'd ever expect to get unwell, and then he really suddenly, while I was in Luxembourg on holiday, got admitted to hospital because they found out his heart was basically not working at all, like literally at all, and to be honest, it's a total miracle that he is alive right now, and I'm just counting all of my blessings, because I don't know what I would have done if things had not turned out the way they turned out. But thankfully, and thank God for the NHS, my dad is doing okay. He had open heart surgery, he was in hospital for like a month or something, and now he's home. And a wild time, but he's doing good now. Well, he's doing better, and he's gonna keep on the upward trajectory. Don't know what that arm movement was, but I'm feeling quite jumbled today, that's the word, because I haven't taken my ADHD medication, and obviously I did used to like cope without it, but like taking that medication has made me realise that I am a lot more kind of cohesive and with it, not even with it, but just like I find things easier to just be succinct when I'm on medication. Where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years time? What do you want to achieve, and do you see content and social media as a forever career? This is actually a really interesting question, and something I did want to talk about, because I got a comment the other day. Basically on Instagram, I worked with a student accommodation company trying to raise awareness for the fact that there is support for students if you're struggling with your mental health at uni. I didn't go to uni, like I've been very open about that, but I just wanted to help my audience, because I know that like I can see the statistics of my audience, and a lot of you are young people of uni age, so I'm like, yeah, of course I'm going to work with people that are trying to spread awareness and help people who might be at uni struggling, like a lot of my followers will be. And so I posted it, and I got this comment that was like, really weird that you're working with a student accommodation brand when you gave up on going to uni. And the words gave up really got to me. Maybe a little bit because I'm just so sensitive at the moment, but also just this idea that I gave up on uni. And obviously that's not what this person's asking. You're asking, where do I see myself in 5 to 10 years? But like, I never ever meant for social media, mental health advocacy to become like a full-time thing for me. Like, that was never my intention. I was just gonna share my recovery. I mean, literally none of this was planned out. It's just happened in a way where I've been so lucky, where I've been able to work with charities and brands to keep raising awareness around eating disorders and mental health, and now I can share my life online, and it's like a job to me. Obviously I am so fortunate to be able to do that. That being said, this was never my intention, and I've always wanted to be either a psychologist, a nurse, like a therapist, something along those lines. I say always. Ever since I got unwell, I was like, I want to be someone that dedicates their life to helping people, and that is still very much my goal. I obviously could not go to uni. Did I give up on education? No, I was too unwell to do it, and so I stopped trying, because I tried for like 3 years to do my A-levels and it didn't work. That doesn't mean I gave up, that just means that it wasn't the right time for me, and I want you to know that if you've been in the same situation where you've had to give up on education or stop your studies because of your mental health, that is so okay. Like, education is always going to be there to fall back on. Like, it might not be as accessible financially, because when we talk about doing access courses and stuff, I'm pretty sure they're all paid, as in you have to pay, not they pay you for them. That would be nice. Which is obviously also on my mind. I'm like, I really want to do an access course. I'm gonna have to be in a position where I can do that financially and everything. But that is my plan. Like one day I really want to do an access course, or maybe an open uni course or something, get myself back into education and end up becoming a nurse or a mental health nurse or a therapist, something where I can help people firsthand. And I'd also like to continue social media alongside that. Like I am not able to go out and have a normal regular job right now, which is why I'm so lucky that social media brings me a bit of money, which again obviously was never my intention, but I do put a lot of work into my social media. Like I don't think people realize it's not me just sitting here yapping and posting it. Like there's so much that goes on behind the scenes, and that is not to say that it's a really difficult job, because I know that influencers have it easy. There is enough work for it to be something you have to give all your time to, if you know what I mean. And so yeah, I am so lucky, but this isn't what I see myself doing forever at all. Like I want to continue to raise awareness and help people with mental health. But yeah, I've always had bigger goals, and that's why I get so upset when people are like, oh, you gave up on uni, you're just like monetizing your mental health, because I'm like, but I'm literally not. Like this is all by chance, and also I have worked really hard on my channel and my social medias. I don't know what clearly that's bothered me, because I've gone on like a 5-minute rant about it. But that being said, like talking of studies and stuff, like I'm not in the headspace to commit to a course or like something long term right now, but I do still engage in things that encourage my brain to keep learning. Like I mentioned a lot on this channel, I've had an ongoing partnership with Skillshare, a platform that I genuinely love because it gives me that feeling of like I'm learning a new skill, I'm doing something, I'm engaging my brain, but without the pressure. And again, like I'm so lucky to have this partnership with Skillshare. I absolutely adore their platform. I love everything about it. It's so accessible, it's so easy to use, and especially for someone with a brain like mine, where I cannot just sit and plug away at things and dedicate all my time to one thing, because I'll just get distracted. You can just dip in and out, and I really love it. There's so many skills on there. As I said before, I've learned journaling on there, learned different arty kind of things on there, which I don't share because I don't think I'm very good at art. I have learned about Notion on there, I've learned about editing my YouTube videos on there. I've actually recently been really focusing on editing stuff, which you might have noticed in my Instagram. I've kind of switched my editing style up a bit over there, and that is largely thanks to Skillshare, because they have such incredible courses about becoming a content creator or improving your skills around content creation, and I will pop the exact ones that I have loved on the screen right now. But yeah, I just wanted to say, like, if you do want to look into learning, even if you can't commit yourself to like full-time study, there are things that you can keep doing to keep your brain engaged and keep learning things and having fun. So yeah, I will link my Skillshare code in the description. I believe the first 500 people who use my code get a month free, so I definitely recommend having a look at that. This is a good one. Why did you get rid of earlier videos? Now this is something I want to talk about, because I have not gotten rid of them. I have a little bit of beef with YouTube, and they keep age restricting my old videos because they mention the word anorexia, and if it says anorexia in the title or it's discussing eating disorders, even if I was like fully nearly like at this point in my recovery, as in like so well, so fine, just simply raising awareness and trying to help people, their system doesn't like it, and it keeps age restricting them, meaning that you guys can't watch them unless you log in and are over 18. And I have spoken to them directly, and they're just like, nah, there's nothing we can do. Their system is so flawed, and it really annoys me, and I have no idea how to get around it. So I actually haven't taken my old videos down, but if you want to watch my old videos, some of them are age restricted, and you will have to log in and be over the age of 18. And I'm really sorry, there is nothing I can do about it. I don't want to get my channel taken down, so I have to just like accept it, but it's very, very annoying. Do you ever fear you will relapse back into your eating disorder? I think fear is maybe too strong a word, because I think I have a knowing deep down that I won't, because there is just no part of me that wants to. Like, my life is way too good now, and when I compare the life I have now to when I was unwell, and that's saying my life is way too good now when I consider the year I've had, where I've lost like people I've loved, I've nearly lost my dad, like I've had horrible family news, I've had a breakup. Like, my life is still so much better now because I'm in recovery or nearly recovered. We need to get on to me defining that, but it's so much better now than it ever was when I was unwell, that I think I know deep down that I just would be able to catch myself and be like, whoa, we're gonna ruin our life here. But I do also think it's important to acknowledge that recovery is not linear, and recovery is not a straight line, and like, you are going to have times where relapsing, going backwards, whatever, might be tempting. It is about pushing through that and knowing that engaging in those behaviours, using those to cope, is going to make you worse in the long time. It's going to ruin your life. So I'm not scared that I'll relapse, but I am also quite aware that like I have this cognition in my brain, and although I've come so far, I am not probably going to be immune to it cropping up for the rest of my life, because it's an illness. I believe in full recovery, and I believe in getting to a place where every single day it doesn't like come into your head constantly and impact you and stuff, but I do think there probably will be times throughout my life, like there have been this year to be honest, where everything's felt so difficult and just so up in the air and scary and confusing, and I've just been like, oh, I don't want to eat, but immediately I can talk to myself and go, no, 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 you need to eat, eating's important, like fueling your body's really important, you can't use that to cope. But I have had those cognitions. I think I'm not scared of them though, because I know how to deal with them, if that makes sense. I have had a lot of questions that are like, do you consider yourself fully recovered? I think I am about as recovered as I possibly could be. I don't like, because I'm a very black or white person, I don't want to be like, I am recovered, because I think that if I ever get to a place where I were to slip back, not that I think I will, but if I ever was to, would I then be like, oh my god, I have ruined everything, so now I've got to go all the way back? Like, I worry about being so definite about things in case it trips me up later on, in case I was to struggle without meaning to, and then being like, right, well, I've ruined it now. Because I do have a very black or white brain, that worries me. I think I am so well to the point that anorexia barely pops into my brain. Like, on a day-to-day basis, I don't think about it. I don't struggle with trying to restrict, I don't struggle with fear foods, I don't struggle with my body. Like, I just look at my body and I'm like, it's a body. And I never thought I'd be in this place, but I am. And you know, to some people that probably is fully recovered, but I am reluctant to be like, I'm recovered, I'm recovered, I'm recovered, because I don't think that gives a future version of me that may struggle because this illness has been in my brain for a long time, the grace that I would need to be forgiving to myself if I was to like accidentally engage in a behaviour, which again, I don't think I will. It's just for me about not being super definite about things, if that makes sense. I got so many of the same questions, it's actually crazy, because I guess I haven't done a life update in ages. How is living back home? I had a couple of these questions as well. Honestly, my parents are the best people in the entire world, and the fact that I have a really supportive family that I can come back to and will welcome me with open arms and have a room for me, albeit a small one, which has been the very stressful thing. I am so lucky, and I never take it for granted. I'm so unbelievably lucky, and I know that. The fact that like when I spoke to my parents and was like, hey, I might need to come back home, they were like, literally no worries, like if that's what's right for you, come back. As I said, I am in the smaller bedroom now, and I have a lot of stuff. I have a lot of things, and a lot of them are in storage, but it's quite an overwhelming space because I can't keep it tidy because everything doesn't have a place, and I'm currently waiting to like get my own place. And so I have found it very overwhelming in that sense. But I have and I haven't, because I think maybe that's more at the forefront of my mind because that's what's been really affecting me today. I've also generally just been so fine. Coming back is way different to how it was before I left, because now I'm an adult, and before I left, like, I was still relying on my parents for an awful lot of things. I was still struggling to like leave the house, needing my mum to do things for me, take me places. Like, I don't think I could very confidently get on a train to London and stuff like that, whereas now it's like, oh hey, I'm going out and doing X, Y and Z, I'm going to see this friend, I'm going to see that friend, I'm off to London today, I'm doing this, and I'm just kind of telling them what I'm doing instead of being like, hey, can people help me please? Like, it's literally like I'm just getting on with my life, which is grand. What's the main thing you have been focusing on / putting your energy towards at the moment? Well, this is such a frustrating thing because I'm not allowed to tell you yet, but next year something big is happening, something big is coming, which I've been spending like all of my time on, and yeah, I'm not allowed to say anymore, but I'm so excited. I have a secret project that I've been spending a lot of my time on. The rest of it has been flat hunting, trying to find myself a new place to live, which, oh my god, I didn't think that it would be so stressful, but it is. So yeah, basically work, looking after myself. I have actually been giving myself a lot of time to heal and process, and I've actually got myself a new therapist, which I don't think I mentioned on here. I think I had a question about that, but I have a lot of questions and I can't find the ones that I like flicked past. I've got myself a new therapist, so I've been seeing a new counsellor, I've been working on this big secret project which has been taking up so much of my time. I've been doing lots of social media advocacy kind of work. I've started working with Young Minds, the charity, which is so exciting because that's kind of the route I want to go down, like advocating for people and spreading awareness and making actual change in the mental health system, because god, it makes me so angry. But that's a video for another day. So yeah, that's basically what I've been spending my time doing. I feel like I've answered these questions in a very jumbled manner, but as I said, my brain's a little bit today. That's my kind of life update. It's not a great one, but it also is in some ways because I'm happier and I will be happier, and I'm still doing really well despite it all. So make of that what you will, because it could be negative, but it's also, I think it's sad. It is sad in a lot of ways, and I may seem like I'm doing great, but I definitely am having a lot of down moments. It is sad, but it's also onwards and upwards, positive energy kind of vibes. My brain's not computing words and then they're not coming out of my mouth very well, so I'm gonna end the video here. But as I said, I will leave my link for Skillshare in the description. I will be back soon with another video. Please follow me on Instagram though, because I am a lot more consistent on short form content at the moment. TikTok, Instagram. I will leave those both linked in the description as well. And yeah, please like, please subscribe. I will see you soon, and I will be vlogging some of this crazy journey that I'm going to be on over the next couple months in regards to moving house. So yeah, I love you all very much, and I will see you soon.